So we're up to episode 6, my boy.
Yep, episode
my short.
6.
And I'd like to just take a quick moment to have a quick performance review of how we've gone over the last 5 episodes.
Oh, before the actual discussion?
Yeah. So
Okay,
we're doing this. We're going to be doing Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah.
Talking about adventure films.
Yeah, just a nice review, because we've just watched the film.
Yes, actually just watched it. Yeah.
Just finished it. So
Yeah.
while it's fresh, we want to discuss it. And we actually came to some really good points.
I think we're going to have some good insights. But yeah, so I think it's been good. I've enjoyed the last 5 episodes. I've had a little re-listen. Quite informative. Pretty happy with that. Pretty good.
Yeah. What's some outstanding things that you've noticed?
Oh, look, I think, the tone is pretty good. We've been known to be rather silly from time to time, but quite serious discussion.
I think we both enjoy a nice joke every now and again.
Gotta have a little
chuckle. A nice chuck. I think we balance it very well in our podcast. We're a bit more on the serious side, but that's okay, because in person and other projects that we're going to be doing, we're going to be a lot more goofy.
There's more to come.
Yeah, there's more goofy things on the way, but at the moment it's more silly things at the moment. Yeah,
well, I think we're sitting on a good format. Sound quality is going to get better.
Yes.
Now we've got the Zoom mic, and we're investing in proper mics coming soon. The next couple of episodes, we'll have the full quality going.
Mm-hmm.
I'm learning how to edit sound.
Yep, he's learning.
Compression, got to get the compression right.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to try not to be as loud when I laugh. Although I'll laugh, but I'll have to just get better at compressing.
Is that a thing you've noticed?
Well, our volume quality. So one day you'll learn that a mic is directional and we'll pick it up. You've got to be pointing your mouth at the mic, because you sort of, in some of the episodes, we're like looking all over the place.
Well, I just get tired of looking at the same.
Oh, that's true. You're a very
because you think
inspired.
about it. We're doing this podcast laying in my bed.
Well, you don't need.
And there's a lot of distractions in my. Just to give sort of an example. And in other podcast people, they'll be around a table and they'll be able to look at each other like a normal conversation. Whereas we're just looking at the mic in my bed.
Yeah, look.
And you're to the left of me.
Yeah, no. That's why we're going to get, when we get the microphones, we'll be able to look at each other, and we'll have the studio set up, and
a lot more intimate.
More intimate, yeah. With no making out though. Well, you never know.
Yeah, well, you never know. Whatever the fans want.
Yeah, and we're going to play. We're doing the half an hour. I think the half an hour length is quite good, because it's not too short. I think because the Book of Mormon one, I was actually really enjoying the review, and then it sort of is just quite short. So the half an hour length. We get our ideas.
It depends on the subject. Like earlier today, we did our, as you'll know when it's out, the Freddie Mercury
that one will be
biopic. That's only 15 minutes because it hasn't come out yet. It's just a thoughts and opinions.
Well, it's kind of
exactly
like
a review.
It's like we're doing every 5 episodes. We're going to put a bonus in between.
Yeah,
so it'll be 5 episodes plus a bonus.
Slightly
5
off
episodes.
topic.
And in one episode, it's turning out 1 episode in every 5 will be probably a new film, because I don't think we want to. I think we agreed we're not going to do too many new films, because it's kind of like, we don't want to be a review show. It's talking about the ideas behind films.
And people can get their reviews.
And there's so many films that have already been made, so we've got so much to get
and reviewed by a lot of other sources on the internet.
Yeah, we're starting to come up with a backlog of ideas and things as well, which we'll flonk out over the year. Because obviously, weekly eps, it'll be 52 episodes a year, so looking forward to it. I think the last note was, we're going to be, about the length. So we might try, I think we're going to try an hour episode next time. We've got Sam back in for passengers.
Yep.
That'll be fun. So let's get into adventure films. I wanted to say, I think the last 5 eps have been you complaining about films. It basically started with you whining about Jurassic World and your distaste for how it was handled.
Well, I think that was a very personal choice of mine. I think it was the proper direction to go with the show. Shows need to be personal. They need to be with heart.
You were genuinely...
But it has... I think we've just chosen movies that I dislike. But we've chosen a movie that I love.
Yes.
And a movie that you haven't seen.
Yeah, so this is... We should
quite
mention...
the opposite.
So, like Nando's chicken, I'd never had Nando's until last year.
Really?
Yeah. And Nando's has been quite... I don't think it's all over the world or wherever.
It is quite expensive.
Not sure how long... I don't actually know how long Nando's has been going.
I haven't had Nando's.
But I just never had Nando's, and it had been around for at least 10 years.
I haven't had Nando's since I was dealing with crippling depression.
Okay.
That was probably about 4 years ago.
Keep the energy up. That's great. crippling depression.
Well,
I think it's dispression. Crippling dispression.
Dispression.
Well, you're beyond that. We're beyond blue now.
No, I'm just saying the last time I had Nando's was back then. But, there's obviously...
The depression couldn't have been that crippling if you...
Because I was spending $18
on
a little wrap, and there would be 2 pieces of chicken, and they'd just throw the lettuce in it.
So that led to the crippling depression, or was that just alongside it?
Yes, it did.
Was that just a part of it?
Yeah, part of it, yes. Losing a lot of money. I haven't had Nando's in so long. It was
true.
yummy, though. Good chips, but...
Yeah, look,
so expensive.
Aside from this becoming a sponsorship for Nando's...
Oh, I don't think it's a sponsorship.
Well, then I'd like to get a free wrap out of this, but whatever. Alright, yeah, so adventure films. So I'd actually never seen Indiana Jones until today. And I don't know how I've gotten through. Because that was 1981. Do you remember that year?
And you were born in 1992.
Yes, true.
So
were you.
Mm-hmm.
So it was 11 years before we were born.
Jeez.
Wasn't the biggest film of all time. Made $389.9 million. According to
I think
the old Wikipedia.
It might have just come out of nowhere because Star Wars was huge at the time.
It was, yeah. It was
Steven Spielberg was a big name as well.
Yeah.
So it would have been...
He was sort of well known.
I'm surprised it didn't do as well, to be honest.
As you see in the credits, it's sort of like the first collab between Steven Spielberg and George Lucas.
Yes.
So it was like the peak. It was like the top.
That would have been a huge movie if it was made these days. 2 huge directors coming together. Harrison Ford would have been the biggest star in Hollywood, I feel.
Well, he would have been
after Star Wars,
and you didn't know if his character was going to get killed off in Episode 5, which was 1980. So he was at his peak, really.
Episode
after
Empire Strikes Back,
and that's where he gets frozen in the ice.
Exactly,
and then carbon.
Next year, he's done Indiana Jones. I'm very surprised it did. Only that much.
So obviously, so it's an adventure film. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed what I saw, and we actually recorded us filming it, so we may put that up.
We're going to cut that down.
Yeah.
Quite a lot though. It's not going to be the full movie.
Yeah.
No, I think I'll talk first.
Yeah, go for it.
Not to be rude,
well, you've known
because I've already seen it. I'll give my.
You know what I can't wait for is to hear you talk about a film you like. It's all been complaining. I think it's been very, very a negative podcast.
You see,
and podcasts are meant to add joy and happiness to the world.
It's not going to be as good as you think because again, I haven't seen this film in probably about 10 years.
Okay, so how did it hold up?
When I talk about Jaws, then you'll get the love, but
so you didn't love this?
No. I mean, as in you'll get the.
Well, so this isn't your favorite
You'll get
film.
the enthusiasm with Jaws because I watch that yearly. With this, I haven't seen this in 10 years. So.
Yeah.
So it's like a falling in love all over again.
Yeah.
Whereas Jaws, I'm constantly in love, and I will constantly support that film.
Okay.
So
Jaws cast.
Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
Great film. Loved watching it again. It seemed a lot shorter than when I watched it as a kid.
Yeah.
I think because I was enjoying it so much. A little, just coming back to it at an older age as well. I have a bit of a, as you, obviously, the audience out there knows, I have a bit of a short attention span with movies. If it doesn't go my way at any point during the film, I will give up on it and I'll whinge about it down the track. With Indiana Jones, didn't have one scene where I was just like, either this is dragging, that doesn't work, that's silly. Oh, I guess maybe the submarine part. He climbs up in the submarine and the submarine doesn't dive. But But it's I can move on from that. I can get over that. The rest of the film, it just feels nice and realistic. I don't know. I just don't get that feeling that I got when I watched Jurassic World. I was like, they're doing this, they're doing that. Like Indiana Jones, I just took it because I think I like the character so much.
Yeah,
I trusted that he was making the right choices, and I actually feared for him as well. But I think with Jurassic World, I was a lot more selfish because I was just caring about my opinion.
Yes.
Where in this film, I was actually caring about Indiana as the character. I was caring about his decisions over mine. Like I was really immersed in the world and what he's trying to accomplish. The only downside I can really think of is doing a bit of research into Karen Allen, who played the girl. The right-hand lad.
Wow.
I was trying to say lady, but I said lad.
Yeah.
But I guess you could call her a lad. She's okay with it. So she only appears in the first and the fourth Indiana Jones.
Yes.
As a bit of a psychic, of course, but she doesn't. After number one, though, she sort of disappeared off the face of the planet, you could say nicely. So she didn't do much
acting wise.
Yeah, she didn't do a lot of work. A couple of probably third, fourth rung actors, kind of like...
Yeah, well, she just ended up doing just...
a couple of scenes, and, which is really sad, because I feel like she should have had the legacy like Carrie Fisher. So it would have been the next saga. She should have carried on for the 3 films.
Yeah.
And they could have their kid, and then that goes into Shia LaBeouf.
Well,
it's easy. Because I feel like she's the exact same thing as Princess Leia. She's just as important. She's just as strong. She's just as pretty. She's just as an outstanding actor.
She is.
Everything is there. I'm just really... just looking back to him, like, that's such a waste, because it's not like James Bond. Like, I think it should be a little bit more smarter than James Bond.
Yeah, well, we discussed that.
It should carry on.
That, like, I haven't seen the other Indiana Jones, obviously. I've only just seen this one.
Yeah.
But that he should be a one-woman man. And it should also be, like, the story, because they were both equally involved in the story, really. She saved him a few times, Like, she had a part. She wasn't just a damsel in distress, I think.
It's not.
She was for a bit, where he did come and save her, but she did end up helping.
Because I'm trying to think that in the James Bond movies, the women don't really fight back. They're just there either to fall
they're
in
just
love
like sex objects.
Find information, betray him. It's like she was just a generally good person.
So you're saying that you're taking a feminist reading of the film and saying that it's sexist. Or you'd love to see Indiana being more chivalrous. If you want to go down that
track, I mean, he doesn't have to be this...
He does bone her in the middle of the film.
Snubs women.
Yeah.
But she does come back in the 4th one really pissed off.
Well, so obviously this genre it's an adventure film. So that's what we're... Like, the idea we want to talk about is that the adventure film is like, it's such a distinct genre in that, like, it has the steps, the hero's journey that they need to take, like Star Wars, that you have to, like, he has to be in his normal world... And then he gets, like, the call to action, and then he goes through the stages, and he has that first bad guy, and then it seems like all hope is lost, and then he has the
henchman,
the ultimate bad guy, and he finds the helper, finds the mentor. So it goes through all those steps, and that's why I think that it became such a big film, and why the genre's lasted so long is that it takes all those steps, like, to the T, within the 2-hour limit.
Yeah, no, it's if I was to defy a movie... just adventure genre, it would be Indiana Jones.
Yeah, so that's, like, for you, the defining adventure film. I guess it is for a lot of people.
It really is, like Jurassic Park is the defining dinosaur film. Dinosaur obviously not being a genre, but
dinosaur
that's something that's outside of our realm these days.
But even, like, Jurassic Park it was an adventure film too, like, they go out to the park and then blah, blah, blah. But Indiana Jones, I think, is a defining one, because...
Yeah, there's no dinosaurs in Indiana Jones, unfortunately, but... There's nothing otherworldly or extinct in Indiana Jones.
No.
Well...
Snakes? Are snakes still alive?
Oh, wow. And there is aliens in number 4, so I guess otherworldly.
Okay. I haven't seen that one.
Well, I'm spoiling everything because it's been years.
Yeah. Well, look, so... Yeah, so, I mean... I think the great Nicolas Cage said that he realised early on that adventure films are the universal language. And he sort of worked it out while he was, like, filmmaking, that, like, an adventure film can cross all, like, borders in terms of audiences.
Yeah.
Like that's why those big films like Transformers and that appeal to Chinese audiences and they make so much money, is because it's like an adventure film. It just goes through
with robots.
Yeah, it's just the action and the excitement.
Oh, don't get me started on Transformers. That's
that was just one example. It's not the example.
I mean, adventure films can go as long as their maker wants, and they can go for 1 to 3 films.
Yeah,
because A to B, Lord of the Rings, A to B, just chuck in any genre we can from the book. You got the love, you got the horror, you got the suspense, you got the thriller. You got science fiction. You got, what else is there out there? Action, comedy. Like, there's just, if you've got the right mix of people in the right setting, you can just throw in as many genres as you can. Which is the great thing about adventure. Really, everything starts with adventure, I feel.
Well, I think, the key with the adventure film, obviously, like with Indiana Jones, is, I noticed, first of all, is just the setting. And it's something like that we kind of take for granted now. But, like, back then, in the early 80s and stuff, it was transforming. Like, people, not saying they live, like, crappy lives, but people had the very, like, suburban or whatever. Yeah. People are very bland. kind of settings relative to what Indiana Jones is, and that's why it had that appeal. Like, you're going to escape. It's like escapism.
Yeah.
That's what movies were originally created for. And I think it's like good to go back and see that's sort of, it reminds you of that's why movies exist in the first place. Because it didn't really have any lesson or anything, did it? It wasn't like one of these films that's tries to teach you something. Really? Or make you look at the world in a different way. You're just like escaping
you're just escaping, like,
to survive fighting Nazis.
I want to be Indiana, or I want to join him on his adventures. I mean, everything, throughout the ages, even back in the 50s and 1930s, there was always adventure films, cowboys and Indians, like the Flash Gordon series. There's always been some sort of decade, a staple of adventure films, and I feel like Indy was the 80s adventure man. Unless I'm missing like a TV series of that in the 80s that was primary adventure.
I don't know, because I think sort of Jaws was like, 1975 when we talked about it was like the highest grossing film.
Yes.
And but that was still like a little suburban beach town. Most people have experience with something.
That was more of a
didn't really transport your way.
Suspense and thriller.
There was E.T. E.T. was actually the year after Indiana Jones, so that doesn't really count.
What a run!
Yeah,
what a run!
I know. But I think Indiana Jones, it really it just transports you and takes you away. On an event. And I made a note as well. Like, Harrison Ford's actually a very funny actor. Like, I always forget because he seems like pretty serious. And if you watch him in interviews, he's got a very dry humor. But you can tell that when the filmmakers use him, that they just let him do what he wants. They let him just they're just because when you were going to the toilet, you went to the toilet at one part, and she's like, how do you know, blah blah blah, and he's like, I don't know, I'm just making it up as I go along. Like, that's just in the middle of the film. He admits that he's improvising.
Yeah, it's I think because the filmmakers trust him, and I think because he's so serious and he has such a really angry, pissed off face all the time. Whenever he cracks a smile, whenever he does like a little he says something funny, like, "Oh, you've done it again," you can't help but laugh because we're so used to seeing him like annoyed all the time, or like, what's the word?
I don't know.
Intimidating.
Intimidating.
He's very intimidating.
Stern. He comes across as very stern.
He is stern. So whenever you see him laugh, and I think that kind of mixes in with the stage crew as well. They're like, oh, Harrison Ford probably walks around like, oh, you no money.
Yeah, he just seems grumpy kind of all the time.
But when he lights up, it's like, oh, that's a really good take. Like, that's really, that emotion is really nice. Just chuck that in whenever you find something funny, huh?
Yeah. Well, as you were saying as well, that like Harrison Ford, you reckon, was like the big sex symbol of the 80s, and you said we should go around asking women born between 1960 and 1965 if they found him attractive.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't know about that. Because I said I don't think my mother was that attracted to him, but I might be wrong.
I think he was, to be honest, because not only does in every movie he gets the woman, but every role he's got, he's either playing Han Solo, this bounty hunter, adventurous, attractive man, with his awesome psychic in outer space, or on Earth he's playing this attractive, adventurous man, bounty hunter.
Got his type.
He's got his male type ruggedness. Blade Runner, I think, was around that time as well.
I think that was like 84 or something.
84.
Whatever he had his run.
So every year you're getting Han Solo playing the same role but in a different universe. Yeah. But in a good way, though. It's not a the same kind of, I don't know, it's really interesting, Harrison Ford. He has a way of playing almost the same role, but at the same time it's slightly different in a good way. But at the same time, whenever he's playing Han Solo, I don't think of him as Indiana. I completely lose track that he's Indiana. And that he's just Han Solo.
You're right. Yeah, he's got like really strange, type, but it's very distinct personalities within the type. That's crazy.
Like, I've never really noticed that until now. Yeah. That you just lose track that he was Indiana. He was the fugitive. He was the president. You just think, oh, that's Han Solo. So he's good at creating a character that's really unique.
So do you think that he obviously, like, he made the film? Like, any other actor playing playing Indiana Jones wouldn't have made the film? Do you think it was really rested on him? Well, like that film, just Raiders of the Lost Ark, which set off the whole Indiana Jones thing, and further like catapulted Steven Spielberg and George Lucas.
So do you think...
I'm saying, like, do you think he makes the film? Because you know we were talking about, like...
Oh, yeah. I thought you meant, like, someone else playing him, like, down the track or something.
No, yeah, well, I'm saying if someone else had played him, do you reckon it wouldn't have been as good?
No. I think Harrison Ford was the perfect casting choice. I couldn't think of... I mean, I could go through a list of... I'd have to really research it, but, I could think of, like Sam Neill or something playing it, maybe.
But back then he would have been a bit too young, but yeah.
No. Early 40s. No,
in the
39.
80s, yes. 39.
Sean Connery.
He's in the early 39s.
Oh, wow. Sean Connery as well.
Yeah.
The young Sean Connery could have played him.
Maybe.
Who's an older actor?
But young Sean Connery was in the 60s, though. Like Bond.
Yeah, so he would have been a bit of an older Indiana Jones. But yeah, like there's plenty of people, but I think Harrison Ford is definitely the man to do it.
Yeah. Do you think... I don't know, like, I wrote... The other note I wrote was, like, the chase scene at the end made me laugh. Like, there was so many, like, comical moments, which I don't think were intended. Like, the people falling off the horses and falling out of the carriage and stuff. Like, it definitely hasn't dated well in terms of an action film. But, again, this is where... What I was saying is, at the start of the film, there gets to a point in a film, as you watch from the start, that the hero survived because of bad aim. And I think we worked it out. It was about 5 minutes, wasn't it?
About 5 minutes.
So when he goes, he jumps into the river, like he swings on the rope or the vine or whatever it was to the river to get out to the boat or the seaplane, and that's when the villagers and the tribes people are like throwing their spears at him.
Yeah,
and it always gets to it. And I'm gonna like start. I'm gonna give it a name like this his luck score or something.
This is amazing.
It's a time code, so it's like 5 minutes.
You're turning into me now.
Well, I'm not saying I hated the film because I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it, but
you're picking something like.
Well, you know
what's going to happen? Is he? Do you want an Indiana Jones film where he's like, running away, and he gets pegged 20 times in the leg?
Well, that's more realistic.
And the rest of the film, he's bedridden.
Well, this is where it's like,
find the Ark. And he's turning purple.
I would love to see an action film where in the opening chase sequence, he gets attacked, he gets hit.
That would be amazing. Like when he's running over the hill.
Yeah, they get hit. No. As he jumps into the lake, one of the spears connects with him and goes in his back. And he's bedridden for the rest of the film.
Well, in Jurassic Park...
And then he's like dreaming about what could have happened.
In Jurassic Park when they're running from those Gallimimus over the hill.
Yeah. And one squashes him.
Yeah, one just runs over the kid. And the kid's just dead.
I'd love that. Because there could have been 3 kids. And then one of the kids dies. Yeah. And then that gives a better backstory.
Well, Sam Neill just gets his head crushed by the weight of the dinosaur.
Yeah. Like, and the kids have to survive on their own.
There you go.
We've got no Jimmy Fallon to guide us. Anyway. We're going back down. We can't go back to Jurassic World.
No, we can't make references off.
But no, I'm just that. This is why, like, if I looked at, you know how I said I rarely go to the cinema to actually watch a film. If I went back through like all my old movie tickets and like showed you every film that I'd seen at the movies, I don't think any of them would have been action films. Actually, I saw Battleship back in 2012, and it reminded me why I don't. It reminded me why I don't go and see action films at the cinema, because that was a terrible film.
I watched half an hour of that and gave up.
That was meant to be the start of Rihanna's acting career. Rihanna?
Oh, Rihanna? Now you're doing me.
Rihanna.
With soft roles, though.
No, because people, like, she calls herself Rihanna, but she also calls herself Rihanna.
I think she should make her mind up.
Yeah, me too. Come on. Rihanna, what are you doing?
Let's watch Battleship.
She didn't release an album lately.
But,
Battleship. No,
she also calls herself Riri or something.
Oh, Riri. It was meant to be the start of Riri's acting career. And look where that happened.
Yeah, alright.
She's going to be in Minions 5. Anyway.
Playing herself, of course.
Yeah.
Got to have that
credit. No, but what I'm trying to say is, like, even with the last James Bond, Spectre was, also about 5 minutes in where he's walking through. It was a really good opening sequence with like the Day of the Dead sort of theme.
Yeah.
He goes up the side of the building, sets off the bomb. The whole thing collapses. He falls down, and all this rubble and stuff just falls all around him, and he survives like on a couch or something.
Maybe like we should have a bonus podcast about this.
Well, yeah,
call it Hollywood Luck. Write it down.
Hollywood Luck.
And we will talk about it in another podcast because
I get that you got to keep the main character alive.
Yeah, of course.
Otherwise, you don't have a film. But
I don't want to see Indian crotches running and carrying a bazooka.
Why
he's
not?
Like, hang on, guys, I gotta. He drops a crotch. He's like, hang on, guys.
Yeah, he's gonna run back. So it's like instead of the whip that he grabs, it's the crotch.
It's the crotch. And he's like, whack.
See, actually, that's another thing. Indiana, which we haven't talked about, which we can finish up on, is the classic moments of Indiana Jones that have been parodied. I thought it was the hat that he leaves behind. I didn't realise it was the whip. Because you know in the Rugrats film, when he does it, he grabs, and it's the remake, and he grabs the hat.
It's always the hat. Because the whip's attached to him.
But I thought he grabbed the whip.
That's
from the
also
start. He grabbed the whip at the start of the film.
In The Simpsons, remember Bart takes the coin.
Yeah.
From Homer.
But did he grab the whip in the film?
No, the hat falls off. He's like, what?
I thought he grabbed the whip at the start. I swear it was the whip.
We'll have to find out. Oh, I think it's the
Indiana
hat.
Jones
it would be
fans?
the hat because
was
Bart
it the hat
Simpson,
or the whip?
the garage is full.
And he grabs the coin jar.
No, he reaches under, grabs his red hat, puts it on.
Yeah. When he's taking the coin jar, and he's got the hat.
So it's been parodied so much.
Yeah, and the Rugrats did it with the hat too. Oh.
It's definitely the hat.
Let's put it this way.
Okay.
I think this is where, like, with adventure films and Indiana Jones, it's definitely like a classic adventure film, and as you said, it's like kind of the standard of adventure films that they get held up to. But like we've obviously come along, and films have changed, so I don't know if it actually holds up that well. Is what I'm saying. Okay. I think it's like
I don't know what are the negatives though. Like
I'm just saying, like the filmmaking, with the bad green screen with the background and stuff, and there's a lot of
80s.
overdubbing.
That's the 80s, man. I think
I'm being too picky.
Do you want it to be remade? Are you
Look, you know what? I wouldn't mind a good remake.
I wouldn't mind
rather than seeing, because what have we got? Indiana Jones 5 coming up.
I would like Chris Pratt. Pratt
he would be good,
is the new Harrison Ford.
He would be good.
100%. And we'll get into Chris Pratt soon with our Passengers review.
Yes. There's the link.
Hey, segue. But just some final wrap up thoughts.
Yeah, go for it. I'm all ears.
No.
I like Shaun in a positive mood.
I think you should.
I've been the cranky one.
I think give the trilogy a go. The second one and the third one a little bit less.
I'm keen to watch them. I'll go watch them in my own time.
Less class, like Raiders of the Lost Ark is the first one. It's more outstanding. It's not like Star Wars where 4, 5, and 6 are all classics and stand out. These two and the second and third one stand out a little bit less, but are also like just as good, if you know what I mean. Like they weren't as like you could kind of watch.
Can you rank them? So first is obviously your
Raiders. Number 3 is
Temple of Doom the second
Last
one?
Crusade.
Last Crusade is the third one.
Raiders of Crusade, Last Crusade or something like that.
Yeah. Which you probably would have been.
Temple of Doom is the second one.
Yeah.
And the Crystal Skull is the fourth one.
Is that the one with the Nazi fridge?
But like Raiders could be its own. It stands atop of the others.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean. Like they're good, but they're not as good as Raiders of the Lost Ark. But still, once you watch the trilogy, you'll be like, yes, that was a good adventure.
Yeah.
Just too many different women though.
And then, but also watch the fourth or not?
Maybe.
I wish I could get a photo of your face every time I mention it.
We'll watch it as a funny off episode. But just give me like a final review, Nathan.
Yeah, look, I watched it.
Was it everything you hoped for?
I saw it. Look, I'll give it 4 stars. 4 out of 5 stars.
Out of 10 or 5?
Yeah, out of 5. 4 out of 5 stars. What about you?
4.5.
4.5.
Definitely. Just
do it. Why not? I can't wait for the remake with Chris Pratt though. That's going to be good.
I wish.